Whenever. Thanks. Hi, this is Geeks Assembled, and we are really amazed and befuddled, and kind of some of us are grumpy about the the Doctor Who finale, The Timeless Children, and the new information about the Gallifreyans. And so, without further ado, because there's so many of us, I'm just going to really quickly bop over. Let's bop over to Aled to hear his opening thoughts, since I usually save him for last.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, well, I can sum this up very, very easily. A finale that actually pays off. Because we've had a lot of story arcs in the past with other showrunners, and they've built up a storyline like the hybrid, and then it turns out to be irrelevant and doesn't mean anything and doesn't go anywhere. But actually, this has actually paid off. And you got to remember, even though we know who the timeless child is being the Doctor, there's still more questions that will be answered next series. So this is going to continue on. And this also makes the Doctor even more mysterious now. This actually brings more mystery to the Doctor. This episode brings Doctor Who back into Doctor Who. So that's it.
All right.
That's my opening thoughts.
That's great. So let's go to Lynn, Massachusetts, and our friend, the 14th Doctor.
Hi, hey, what's up?
Opening thoughts.
My opening thoughts. I was surprised that they actually pulled it off well. They did the finale well, and so many surprises that actually got my attention. So many references, and half Time Lord, half Cyberman technology. That was just intense. I was like, what? Is this some new shit that I'm seeing? Is this some new shit? But yeah, there were so many thoughts. I'll leave it to my favorite moments. But I do love the opener. The opener was great.
All right,
Big
cool.
Opening.
Since we haven't seen him in a while, we'd like to see what Kevin Bullheis over in the Netherlands has to say. Please.
Oh, you're saying my last name correctly, so big plus there.
Did I do it right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So go on and do your opening thoughts.
I liked it, but they could have done a three-parter of this one, really, because there was so much stuff to take it in, but there wasn't a lot of action because their dialogue was important to the whole story. But I was like, they killed off the lone Cyberman just like that. I want him back, really. I want to know who the guy is, but yeah, there were some plot twists like the Doctor is the timeless child. Well, who didn't saw that coming? Like probably almost everyone. But yeah, I liked it for what it was. Can't wait for next series. Probably going to be resolved in New Year special, probably. The ending.
Yeah, maybe.
Who knows?
Yeah, very funny. Who knows? All right, back over to the UK. And how about hearing from Jake, please?
What an amazing piece of television that finale was. I've never been on the edge of my seat in a finale before. My God. I was one of the people who was a bit worried about the rumour and like there's going to be more Doctors before Hartnell. And now it's happened. It works. This mystery has been set up for years. We first saw it in Brain of Morbius. McCoy turned around and said, I'm far more than just another Time Lord. It's been built up for years. So I don't know why everyone on Twitter is crying about it, because it's been built up and up and up and up for years. Anyway, apart from that, yeah, everyone was phenomenal in this episode. Sacha Dhawan stood out over everyone. How good was he this episode? Amazing. Jodie was great. Even the companions, I felt worried for once. They were so good, especially great. The scene between Graham and Yaz was quite good, like that. And it's just, why couldn't we have had stories like this in her first series? I'm just so glad that it's happening now. and we're getting to see Jodie at her full potential. I mean, we saw her go for the Master. She was going to bloody club him round the head. I was like, my God. But yeah, I'll get into my favourite moments. That's my overall thoughts. It's very good.
All right, and then over to Pennsylvania, please, with Susie, please. Your opening thoughts, and your puppy, and you're muted, so you're gonna have to unmute before you speak. There you go.
Okay. This is Cindy Lou.
Hello, Cindy Lou.
I don't like Doctor Who. My mom's crazy. Yeah, thank you. So,
Help me, help me.
Help me,
Save me
help
from the
me.
bad dog lady.
Oh, yay!
Anyway,
She kidnapped me from the
There was-
park.
there was so much in this episode. This episode was basically manic. It needed a Valium. It was just, but it should have been half a season. All of that stuff should have been half a season. I mean, how cool was it to see Cyber Time Lords? That was so cool. But you saw them for 2 freaking seconds. Boom, they're gone. Well, they were a threat. It was too short. It was too much compacted into one thing. And there were just too many things left unanswered for me. And over again, it was just like Michael Bay came in and took over. Took over Doctor Who. It was like boom, 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 boom. And I would have been happier if they had delved more into all of the little things that were happening over the course of half of the season. That I think would have satisfied me more, because I just didn't get enough information. And I didn't have enough time to process everything that was happening. It was just sort of like, okay, we have this loose end and this loose end and this loose end and this loose end. Let's see if we can tie them all up in 10 minutes. And that annoyed me. So those are my opening thoughts. But there were some very cool, like I said, the Cyber Time Lords, whoever designed those, the whole thing, I mean, those were very
Ray Holman designed them.
well. He is a talented man, and and just mostly that's my opening thought.
All right, thanks. And here's Alex. Opening thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, remember too that this is also, the masters relaying all this information, and as we know, he's not the most truthful, and he's kind of a hateful character as well. But that's fine. I mean, remember, it's a science fiction show. It's a show that's been around forever. They didn't have the regeneration to begin with, so I mean, it could be 1,000 lives that we don't know about, and even Matt Smith said it. So it's a little bit of an overreaction. Plus, there was an episode, I forgot the name of the story, that the second Doctor said he was in a test tube anyway. And of course, he doesn't need sleep, which is a little strange. But, it's fine. It's a sci-fi show. You have to have a little imagination. And, I think they're also doing that as well so that they can get the people that don't want to be flexible out of the way that are watching the show or might have watched the show. And, I'd like to see more doctors, not all at once, though. And, they do need new villains. I wish the Master hadn't been the relayer.
Can I hold your horses there?
Sure.
Yeah,
sure.
when they did that with Series 11, everybody complained.
Right.
And this is the result. And then everybody complains, oh, it's the Cybermen again. Yeah, well, he all complained when there was new villains in Series 11. So make your mind up.
Yeah, so that's another thing.
Yeah. That's the
that you
fans'
can't,
fault, though. That's
yeah,
the
that you can't, yeah, that you can't have fans just take it, accept it, and that's it.
And my opening thought is, what if this particular episode had some like true moments, but the rest were sort of like cyber mind control stuff that was going on during invasion. I just don't know. There's like there are so many possibilities, because they you remember when they invaded Earth the first time, they used a mind control device to control the population. Remember that? With Ken Stoney or whatever his name is, the actor. Anyway,
Yeah, what do you mean, the invasion?
the invasion, right?
Yeah.
So that there could be moments of this that are true and moments that are mind control. I don't know.
In the Matrix, you mean?
What's that?
The moments in the Matrix.
The moments in the Matrix or the moments in reality, because we could be like an unreliable witness, and this could be the Valiard. I mean, like that could be Rassilon, they could be Omega, but it could be the Valiard. I mean, we haven't seen the Valiard yet again, and that kind of looks like the whole setup a lot, not just a little, but a whole lot. Anyway, so
But the Valiard was only one incarnation of the Doctor.
I know, but
That's the problem when we've seen him. And
Wasn't he in the
that's
middle
why-
of the 12th and 11th? Or final
He's not-
incarnation?
He's not even an He's not even an incarnation. He's an amalgamation of the Doctor's darker sides. He's not even
Yeah,
an
but that was-
incarnation.
Yeah, but that was a master again.
in
Yeah,
a way.
he's basically the master, wasn't he? Really?
Yeah. So I mean,
But the master was there with him. So anyway, like there are still a whole bunch of questions that that I think that I've got all sorts of theories now, but
So many.
I think I kind of find like it was a long discussion of what trying to answer some fan theories, especially the brain of Morbius, because all of those doctors were shown at the moment, and I'm gonna have to go through frame by frame again when I get the DVD to really see every single solitary face that was in that montage.
Oh, that's on Twitter. People have done that on Twitter. Slowed it down.
It was the first 6 kids, the Morbius Doctors, and Joe Martin.
Yeah, you
all
can
right.
already see that on Twitter if you just Twitter it.
All right, I'll look there then. All right. So anyway, happy that people have done the work ahead of time for me. So let's go. Let's flip the order backwards. And what are your favorite moments, Alex?
Let's see. Well, of course, I knew that there was going to be a confrontation. The master almost had the Doctor. I knew that there was going to be another person coming in that was going to press a button, because in Doctor Who they always have to have somebody press a button. So I liked it, but I knew. I mean, not all of it was. A lot of it was kind of predictable. I think I've been watching this show a little too long. It's getting to the point where I'm barely surprised. So yeah, I mentioned before about what I didn't like. What was the other thing I liked? I liked the fact that they sort of pretended to be Cybermen. What was her name?
Yes.
But
Yes.
yes.
Yeah.
So I like that. What else did I like? I mean, I like the fact that they did sort of do the Morbius, trick, and then Morbius asked, "How many lives have you lived?" and all that back then with Tom Baker. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't. Yeah, I mean, I liked it, but at the same point, it didn't shock me. It didn't surprise me, and they have to come up with some sort of explanation. And Facebook's already ranting and raving. Cut it out, guys. So the only other thing, like I mentioned before, is how is the Doctor going to get out of the Jadoon prison? I mean, unless this is going to be the new division. Now she's going to be doing
Chloe Webber.
Yeah, doing
Gonna break her out.
cases for the division now. Of course, the other thing I noticed was they didn't mention the CIA. Remember how Tom Baker was talking about the CIA with the Time Lords, and they
Yeah.
didn't mention that the Celestial Intervention Agency or whatever. And then the time that the Time Lords talked to him at Genesis of the Daleks, and the Time Lord said, "Not continually, occasionally." And all that.
We got a reference to the Deadly Assassin, didn't we, as well?
Yeah,
That was
yeah, so-
awesome. I love that bit.
yeah. I mean, that was another thing that I
Even
would have.
Verusa got a name drop.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should have mentioned everybody. But anyway,
Well, not everybody. I mean, they would have been there forever.
Ronnie, and Omega.
No.
But
They didn't have-
the sad thing is that with Gallifrey destroyed, maybe the Master killed Susan, Leela, Romana.
No, Susan wasn't on Gallifrey, was she?
Yes, she was.
Oh, she was.
Yeah, in the
With their
audios,
Time War stuff.
she has been brought to
Oh, well, that's her gone
Gallifrey.
then. That's her gone.
Yeah.
She was one of the Cybermen.
Oh.
She was
Wait,
a
is
Cyberman that
that
got
true?
No,
shot.
that's
She
horrible.
was the one that. She
So
was the one that got shot.
now, both of my favorites have been turned into Cybermen.
No, not
Brigadier.
Susan.
I think
And
you're jinxed,
Susan.
Susan. I think you're jinxed.
Nobody knows until next series on Doctor Who.
That's heartbreaking for Susie. Anyway, for me.
See, I told you Susan was. Yeah, but I did tell you, Susan, that Susan was going to be in it.
But
I wasn't wrong.
You weren't wrong. Oh, jeez. So anyway,
Coronavirus.
that's dawning on me. That's a.
And
That's
you
a
thought I was
tragedy.
winding you up. No, she was a
All right.
Cyberman.
All right, Susie, go ahead. Your favorite moments.
Oh, you muted
And
me there. I'll
unmute
you.
yourself.
So,
I've done it. I've unmuted you. It's fine.
okay, great. I don't, like I said, there's so much. It just kept flying over. It's hard to pick anything. It just was too much in one episode for me. I think the things that I would have liked to have seen spread out. The Doctor stuck in the Matrix. That would have been cool. There could have been more doctors involved there. There could have been a lot more. It could have been a whole episode on its own. I again loved the Cyber Time Lords. It's got to be one of the best costumes, villain costumes ever. I'm just sorry they only lived for 5 seconds. Because that also could have been spread out. They could have been running around on Gallifrey hunting the companions or something, you know? I just think it was a bunch of lost things. What else did I like? I do more The Matrix. Well, the whole Jadoon thing at the end, I mean, River got out of her prison all the time. I see no reason why the Doctor won't get out of hers. And if anything, River will probably come get him or something in a TARDIS. I'm not terribly concerned about that.
Jack will break her out. Jack will be there. Jack will be arrested. Or something. Yeah, Jack,
something's going to happen. And but it was a little abrupt of an ending. And after all of the stimulus of this whole episode, I was like, I don't care right now.
What series is it that ended with what? Was it series 3?
What?
Exactly.
Series 2 and Series 3.
Yeah.
The Donna and the Titanic.
What?
Yeah,
that's what David Tennant did, wasn't it? You know.
What?
Yeah.
Well, that was the Titanic.
Yeah, the Titanic. Yeah, before the Titanic. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So good point.
So I'm not exactly. I liked the new. I hesitate to call them companions, but the humans that were on the world. I wish that whole scene at the end where the guy was going to blow up. All of their interactions could have been a whole episode. And the woman I liked a lot. So the woman companion ended up non-companion. The only person who survived of all the humans on the planet was the one woman, right? Or did that other guy survive too?
There were 2 guys. Yeah.
There were 2 guys, and then the woman off Benidorm. Yeah.
Oh, and the 3 of them survived. Okay.
Yeah, 3 of them survived. Yeah, along with the companions.
So what the heck is that going to do to our timeline? Because you've got these humans from the future have come back. So that could be a whole nother ball game next season.
I doubt they'll ever address it again.
Oh, that would be too bad. Lost opportunity. It was cool that the TARDIS came back and its chameleon circuit actually worked in what was a little house.
That wasn't her TARDIS, though. That wasn't her TARDIS.
She just stole 2 more TARDISes.
I know, but it was cool that they worked. And
with the tree, and the house.
First the house, and it was a perfect setting, and then the tree. And now we know there's a tree sitting out there at that planet. So if anybody ever needs a TARDIS, they just have to go there. So
yeah.
So there was just so much. As I've been saying on Facebook, too much sound and fury signifying nothing. It was too much in this episode. It was like we had we had the Jadoon episode, some placeholders, and then this. And it just, the whole last season could have been this whole story. And because of that, the master, the actor did a fabulous job, but it would have been to his advantage to have had more time to tell everything. And what the heck happened with this whole, they never explained fully the institution that I guess was in charge. This shit was in charge of erasing the Doctor's memory at the end of every lifespan for a while.
I think that's coming next year.
You know,
That's coming in series 13, yeah.
I mean, and where have they been for the last
I think that's coming. I think that's going to be.
And where have they been for the last, God knows however there have been regenerations, that they've been slacking off on their job. They were supposed to keep erasing because it just didn't work. But yeah.
Well, we don't know who the last Cyberman, the lone Cyberman was. We still don't know. Once she'd left Gallifrey and gone out and stole the TARDIS to begin with, they couldn't erase her memory anymore. Remember?
Yeah, because she left Gallifrey. Yeah, she ran away to be William Hartnell.
Yeah.
I know that, but where did they say that in the episode?
That makes me wonder if that's the actual reason.
Did someone actually say that in the episode?
Yeah, that's what I think, Jake. Yeah.
No, that was my theory here.
So but whatever. But we still don't know who the lone Cyberman was.
Yeah, it's true. Okay, so let's move on to Jake, please, and your favorite moments.
I'm going to agree with what Alid said in his initial thoughts. It has brought back the mystery of still got the mystery, because how many other incarnations are out there? Like, we've got all these other people that could fit in, like the curator. Where the curator could be an incarnation that fits in somewhere. But I have a theory that Ali disagreed with me on. I reckon the Doctor fled Gallifrey because he found out about the whole mind wiping thing. But when they caught up with him in the War Games, they took it out of his memory when they forced him to regenerate. That's my theory. That's why it's never brought up again until now, if that makes sense. Because the reason for the Doctor leaving, I've always thought was a bit naff, and this makes sense for him to run away. And like, so that my mind's wiped. And then when they catch him in the War Games, it's like, wait, we're going to make him regenerate. Let's take that out so he doesn't remember it, sort of thing. But yeah, my favourite moments, let's have a think in my head. Any scene with Jodie and Sacha Dhawan Master, they mix together so well. It's like peanut butter and jelly, isn't it? They're so good together. And everyone knows I love the new Master. Love Sasha in more ways than one.
And
I bet you do.
Everybody knows he loves peanut butter and jelly as well.
He's great in every scene. He was eating the scenery. And what else? I like the flashback with the Doctor Who music blaring and all these flashbacks. The Sea Devils were back in series 12 because they were in that scene.
Just a brief.
Where was the Sea Devils? In the Matrix?
In the Flash. You know when it did the flashback of the Doctor's life?
There was no Sea Devil in the Flash.
Yes, there was actually. There was
a Sea Devil.
There was. I
so
sent
they're
it.
back.
I posted it in the chat.
No. You just went back and added Twitter.
No, there was
there was a Sea Devil.
Try to rewind the thing.
There was a Sea Devil in it. Every incarnation of the Master, even the Absorbaloff was in it for some reason. And
was he? Didn't see that bit.
With a song. And what else? Oh, fuck, I was going to say.
The Jegrafoff was in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, him.
And yeah, it was good. Of course, yeah. There's one thing I might have changed.
No
I
creature
like
from the pet. The robots from Robot. No, the robots.
If you interrupt me one more time.
Okay, yeah. Let's let him finish, and then that's.
There's two things I'd have changed. I didn't like the way the Matrix was avoided. I'd have liked it to have been that really scraggly beach from Trial of a Time Lord. Because imagine Jodie just standing in the middle of deserted beach, not knowing where she is, and all of a sudden Joe Martin pops up like, "Hi!" And the bit where the companions were dressed up as Cyberman, I wish Ryan would have shot and killed one of them and not realised who it was until they took the helmet off and it was like Graham or someone. I do think that's what this was missing, a companion to die. That's the only thing that I felt was missing from this finale.
You
Oh,
can't do
alright.
that. You can't do that for one very good reason. Well,
Yes,
there's two
but
very
that
good
was
reasons.
destroyed, remember? So she couldn't have gone back
That's
anyway.
irrelevant because that's a future Gallifrey. That's Gallifrey at the end of the universe.
Okay.
That's a different Gallifrey.
Let's
That's
bebop
for
down.
Hellbent is in
bebop-
the future.
Just hold on. Just hold that thought.
Yeah, shush.
Let's
The
go
extraction
to
chamber.
let's go to Kevin, please, in your favorite moments.
Oh, that took a long time, didn't it? Well, one of my favorite moments was when the Master and the lone Cyberman were talking, negotiating. And then Zep, he was a minifigure. Like a mini Lego. I wish the Master stepped on it, so you felt the pain of every Lego brick. We all know it. But, yeah. And the Matrix part I really liked. When they did a different version of the Doctor Who theme in this episode, probably. Like when the flashback was starting, when she was going through all her memories, to kill the Matrix, basically. You heard a different version of the Doctor Who theme. I think. Yeah. But yeah, the Master and the Simon are dead now. I don't think the Master is dead, but he will turn up.
He's not dead. He says something near the end of the episode.
Stop interrupting people, Jake.
There's a bit at the end
Jeez.
where he says, "You lot follow me." Near the end, you got to watch it with subtitles. He does escape.
Aha. Well,
Alright.
thank you for interrupting.
You're welcome.
And I like the Cyber Time Lords. That design was really good. But yeah, only for 2 seconds, like Jim always does. And now people are screaming on Twitter, they killed Doctor Who, they destroyed it, blah, 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 blah. They didn't really do it because Chibnall, the BBC has probably said to him, don't do this, don't do that. Because it's the
BBC
BBC.
doesn't say anything like that.
No?
Nah.
Yeah.
You can do what you want with the show.
Yeah. Let's make
pretty
it.
much.
Let's screw canon.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I like the ending, the cliffhanger, and then the title was. What was the title of the next episode? Something with Daleks.
Revolution of the Daleks, wasn't it?
Revolution of the
Yes.
The holidays. It's the holidays. I feel like it's
Ken's
gonna be.
watching.
No, I'm
Christmas.
thinking
Yeah.
it might feature the Zygons.
There's
Yeah, I think it could be a Christmas.
There's a rumor that it's going to be at Easter, apparently, and I don't know.
No.
No, it can't be
No,
Easter.
no.
It has to be a Christmas special.
No,
Don't do that.
Chibnall already confirmed there was going to be a Christmas and a New Year special.
Or a New Year's special,
Yeah.
not and.
Oh, somebody is correcting me. Thanks, Susan.
No, it's just that they really only do one, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Like this year they did the New Year's special, and then they did the first episode of Series 12 on the 4th of January.
Yeah.
So it was a short turnaround between those 2 episodes, but the thing is like it's I bet they're going to put it at New Year's again because I think that the Christmas is getting bollocksed up.
Who knows? By Brexit wins.
Possibly. Anyway, let's go back over to the UK. No, let's go to Lynn, Massachusetts, and tell me what your favorite moments
My favorite
were.
moments. Oh, there were so many moments. I'm gonna only put like a couple on here because it's like a battlefield for me for all the moments in the show. I did like the Doctor's recurring memories. Shit. Memories. I love the Doctor's recurring memories. And it was just damn intense. It was just very interesting seeing all the Doctor's faces, the companions, the Master, the enemies. It was very intense. Also the Cybermen as Time Lords. That was new to me. It was again Time Lords revived as Cybermen. Reversible technology with cyber tech and Time Lord energy. Very interesting. I never saw that kind of formula get into the mix. That got my attention very well. Also, Joel Martin's Doctor returning. It was epic, very epic. I was like, oh, we get to see you yet again. Lovely, very lovely. Yeah, but the weird part that got my attention was the ending. The ending got my attention. Is like, what did the Doctor do to deserve this? And people have been saying it's been Shada or something. I don't know, but we have to wait until this year, I think, for the Christmas special or New Year special. I don't know. I've been thinking about that. I've been debating myself. And if it's a Christmas special, I'm gonna have to force my sister to get me tickets for that Christmas special. Hell yeah. I need to force my sister yet again. But yes, those are my favorite thoughts.
All right, great. And Alan, now, what are your favorite moments?
Oh my God. Everything with Sacha Dhawan, he was absolutely brilliant. I love it when he was explaining the Timeless Child. You know, you had that montage and you saw Gallifrey being built up, and he was talking about how they invented time travel and how they grew the Citadel. I thought, you know, that was absolutely brilliantly done. It was very well explained. I didn't feel like this episode was rushed or anything like that. I thought it was actually well paced. There was a lot to it, and there was a lot of information, but actually I thought on the whole it was very well delivered and very well explained. Now, yes, there is questions, but that's because they're going to be answered next series. This is a 5-year plan that Chibnall has, and they will eventually probably be answered. Some of them, not all of them will. One of the other scenes that I like is when the companions are in the Cyberman costumes, are in the suits, and you can just see them. They're panicking. You could see the lone Cybermen just staring through the eye holes of the Cybermen they're in. And you've got Yaz with a tear coming down her face. And you do think, oh my God, he's going to kill one of them. But it can't happen. Thank you very much, Moffat, because you put an end to all that, which is the extraction chamber, which, whatever you say, it still exists. Even if Gallifrey's destroyed, Gallifrey will be back probably in the future, and it still exists. Unless Chibnall destroys Gallifrey for good, the extraction chamber will come back. And hopefully he has destroyed Gallifrey for good, because having a device that can take anybody out of death shouldn't be in the show. Absolutely shouldn't be in the show. I liked the ending as well, because I thought this built up so much towards the end. I actually thought this would make a brilliant final episode. If Doctor Who ever ended, this would make an awesome final episode, because it built up and built up and built up to where Jodie had the chance to basically commit genocide and kill herself, the Master, and the Cyberlords. And I just love the idea of the Cyberlords. Cybermen that are also Time Lords, that when you kill them, they regenerate. And I do love the background we have of the Doctor, that we basically know nothing about her now. We don't know where she's from. We don't know who she is. We don't know who her race is. We don't know if there's more of her. I think this brings so much mystery to the character, where Moffat did explain too much, like we listen, everything like that. And when she went back to choose the TARDIS for William Hartnell, he went and explained too much. This doesn't explain anything about the Doctor. This doesn't explain anything. This is now, who is the Doctor? Because we've got no idea who this person is or what background she's had before then. We have no idea what she's done and what she's been doing for the Time Lords before. There's now more mystery than ever to Doctor Who, and that's something that should be celebrated. I did like it when the old man, at the end, he came and he took the device to destroy the Cybermen. Well, we think they're destroyed. They probably got away, but that was good. I thought he played it really well. And I liked at the end as well, where Jodie actually had an interaction with the TARDIS. And it felt like she did have that bond with the TARDIS, which has been missing a bit. But it was just a nice little touch at the end with the TARDIS, you know, that she was glad to see the TARDIS, that she was home. And that was really good. Yeah. There's so much I liked about this episode. Yeah. I liked it a lot. Yeah. Well,
For good reason. But my thinking is that it was a really elaborate way to answer some of the questions that Chibnall had as a child, because he was not a fan of much of the 6th and 7th Doctor's era.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, he was really insulting to. I mean, yes, he was in the fan club, but
Yeah, Pippin Jane Baker, he wasn't too nice to, was he?
right. But you could tell that he was trying to answer some of his own questions, and that's what you're going to do. That's what's going to happen when you have a fan in charge of the show. Because, you know, like all of us, we sit around and postulate and theorize and stuff, and so does he. So did he for 20 years, 30 years, or whatever, between the 80s and now. Anyway, I'm enjoying this this discussion that we're having. So I'd like to open the floor. Please, you guys just excuse me, talk freely.
All right, then. What I want to say is
freely.
to everybody who kept saying to me, "Oh, Chibnall's line. Jack's going to be back this season," and I said, "No." Chibnall said, "No." "Oh, he's lying. You're wrong. He's lying." I told you so. Chibnall was telling the truth. Chibnall doesn't lie. He said he wasn't going to be back. He's not back.
Music was good.
Jack was only back for one episode, and that's it.
He's back in the special.
Yeah, he's back in the special, but Chibnall just said series 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the
Only for
music
one
in this
episode
episode.
again.
Yeah,
I
I
love
know
the
you said, Jake.
Yeah. So that bit where she's walking down the corridor towards her death, and that really sad piano rendition of her theme is playing. I just wish as she's walking, she stroked the wall or something. Like she was saying good night. Now listen to what I'm saying. Like she was saying goodbye to her home one last time, sort of thing.
Well, it's not her home, is it really? No.
No,
Not home anymore.
That's like being told you're adopted when you're 50 years old. But hey ho. Anyway, yeah.
Wait, what about 56? Isn't the show turning 56 or 57?
It's over 60 years old. Isn't it? No,
The show's not over 60.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
You call yourself a fan?
No, the show.
No, don't do that, Alan.
The show is not 60,
don't
over
do that,
60
Alan.
years old.
One of
The who was this Tecteun person in the like the structure of
Scientist.
The woman from the end of time.
people originally lived at Gallifrey, which leads to me. I just can't understand. I know the Master's crazy, but
Yeah.
he was so angry because the Doctor was the timeless child that he destroyed everyone on Gallifrey who had no idea the story existed.
But he did explain that because he's got part of the Doctor in him. And that drives him. What's the worst thing you can say to the Master? You've got a bit of the Doctor in you. That would drive him insane. That he's anything to do with the
The
Doctor.
other thing,
Sims Master could have eaten bits of the Doctor.
the other The other
That's
question
true.
is,
What the
how
fuck's
did the
going
master
on?
return in the first place? We were
Oh,
never
you
told
that,
that.
yeah, but
Yeah, but you never know with
the
the master
master.
what happens to him. It's never
No, but
revealed.
he was
Like,
definitely dead. So
How
now
did
all
the
of a sudden
master-
he returns, and there's no explanation.
how
He
did the
was
Yeah,
master?
that's time
definitely
for
dead
explanation.
after the 1999 movie,
How did-
1996 movie.
How
He
did
was
the master?
definitely dead.
Yeah, but
How
I'll
did
tell
the
you how he
master-
comes back because it's a time travel show.
Yeah. How
Yeah.
did the master
I know,
get?
I
How
hate
did
that.
the How
I hate
did the
they just
master
don't.
get
They
out of
always make it.
Castronova?
Well, I escaped because of blah 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 blah. Or,
Yeah, but
I
he's
mean,
also burned
a little
alive,
part
remember?
of me
Yeah.
was in this box. One of the episodes, a little part of him was in a box, and it got to another one, and it, regenerated or whatever.
He's got more
But the
mystery than the
Dune, how did
Doctor
the
has.
Dune get in the TARDIS? The TARDIS is supposed to have that shielding thing,
Well,
and the Dune just sort of came right in. I mean,
well, again,
well-
I mean, what was it? It was the 10th and the 11th. He came back, even though he wasn't supposed to be alive. Then what? Then 12. The male master, shoots the female
he's
master.
been
and now
resurrected
he's back.
before.
Yeah, so
He's been
He's
we've seen him be
plenty
resurrected.
of times. The Time Lords resurrected him
Yeah.
for the Time War.
Yeah,
So
but he was
what?
resurrected in one of the episodes.
And
No,
explain,
He was-
how did the Dune get in the TARDIS? The TARDIS is supposed to have this shielding that keeps bad things out. And
Yeah,
all of
but
a
the
sudden,
Jadoon were working with Gat though, weren't they? That time lady, so they could have Time Lord technology to get into
yeah.
TARDISes to take the people there out.
Yeah.
It could be that he was, maybe the crime that they came after him for was the fact that he never actually died and River was sent to prison.
No.
I don't know.
No.
Another one.
Debunked.
Sorry,
It could
Pam.
be, no, it could be any number of things.
No.
The lady when she was figuring out the regeneration, when she was testing it on herself, it was like she was burning
Yeah,
herself.
That was
for
a
1
violent
second.
regeneration. That was a
Yeah,
really
But I
violent.
like that. I liked all that
Yeah.
with the master and that when he
I'm a bit bored of the explodey regenerations, though. Can we have like one where the Doctor just collapses and regenerates, not explodes? If fucking
Why? Okay, question. So when the Doctor was the Irish kid, and the Irish kid went to Broadchurch and fell off the cliff.
the Irish kid.
So when
timeless
that
child.
happened, he died, but he didn't regenerate.
it was a glitch in the Matrix. It explained
it
it.
was-
It was a
it was-
glitch.
Come on! What was that explained?
The reason why
It-
it was a glitch in the Matrix because it's clues from the Doctor's mother. It's clues from the
so
Doctor.
that wasn't a real story. It was just
It
a
was-
real thing.
It mirrored what happened with the timeless child.
Yeah.
Just replaced a little
Oh,
black girl
okay,
with Brendan.
Okay.
It was
Still,
clues.
this didn't really make sense to me.
Yeah, that
Oh,
burning
I did
effect
like
was
I
really
did
cool.
like when Joe Martin's Doctor appeared and Jodie realized that her past was her strength.
Yeah, I mean, quite
Yeah.
frankly, this whole the Doctor's a timeless child, I don't see the big deal. I mean,
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's not really
I
a big
really
deal.
don't see the big deal. It's okay for her. It would be
It,
shocking, but
do you know what? This episode changes the Time Lords more than it changes the Doctor.
yeah, it kind of destroys.
It changes the history of the Time Lords.
Well, the Time Lords have always been
Well, Versa was always a dork, and everyone should pass that on.
the Time Lords have always been manipulative arseholes, so that hasn't changed.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Bit like
I
some
mean,
people in a Spinner
it's just like if we found out part of human history that started before the dinosaurs or something.
Yeah.
You know,
Spoiler alert,
that's
we're all
who
Time
we
Lords.
are. It's just part of another part archaeology just found out about. That's all.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I don't know. And to be honest, I'm getting a little overwhelmed by all of the bombarding unanswered questions.
welcome.
I will give Susie one thing. They could have done some of this in Series 11.
Yeah, they could have. Yeah.
They could have started this off in Series 11
But they
and
didn't.
instead of just throwing it all in this series.
Yeah.
I do agree with that. Yes.
You know
I'm
that's
getting
right.
overwhelmed,
Yeah.
and I'm getting bored with all of the gazillion of unanswered questions.
Yeah,
That's okay. It's
So
it's
much
wibbly
I
wobbly,
expect.
timey wimey.
Yeah, it's too.
It's wibbly.
okay, exactly. This is too
So-
fucking tiny.
Don't worry. It'll hurt your head. Never mind that.
Oh,
No, but usually I'm okay with just saying don't question.
one thing I want to bring up.
Now there's just too many things.
One thing I wanna bring up.
What?
What a lovely
Boy, it's starting
feature.
to get too much.
Who else thinks making the Morbius Doctors canon was a lovely tribute to Terrence Dicks, who wrote the story?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was, and it answered the question that had been bugging Chris Chibnall since he was the little Time Tot fan boy. You know, this is what we do, and that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
This episode and this story arc is somewhat to answer his questions as for what he
You
was
put
a
the milk in
child.
first or the hot water.
It's just a shame some of the producers and directors who played those Doctors, like Christopher Barry, aren't with us anymore to see it. Especially Terrence Dicks, who obviously died last year.
I know, that's true.
The Matrix section, which quite frankly I think could have taken a lot longer. The whole explosion should have taken a lot longer.
It should have been a
But
beach.
what was the question that was answered by that? What was the question Chibnall had that was answered by that?
Well, whether or not these faces that Morbius saw were his own regenerations or the Doctor's regenerations.
Well, the Doctors, yeah.
But that was always the question, you know, in the fandom, was these faces that Morbius saw, were they his own regeneration or were they the Doctor's regenerations? Because people were a little grumpy back then on whether or not these were the Doctor's regenerations or Morbius's regenerations because of the same sort of, you know, shock value that it moves Hartnell from the original position. But I think that's what's fun about Hartnell and about putting this stuff in front of him is the fact that you know, he can be seen on camera a lot more, and you know that
Can I bring something up about that?
That's pretty fun to have, like, these montages with, especially with him in it. That makes me a happy Susie.
Can I bring something up? Can I bring something up about the whole Hartnell thing?
No.
Yeah, go.
Hartnell is still the first Doctor. He's the Doctor that ran away from Gallifrey and distanced himself from the Time Lords. He is still the first Doctor. Yeah, he's not the first incarnation, but he's still the first Doctor, because he ran away, distanced himself from the Time Lords.
That's
Because
good.
So let me ask you, where's Ruth fit in then?
Ruth was in liaison with the Time Lords. She hasn't run away yet, so technically she's still not the first proper Doctor. Like, I don't want to be with the Time Lords anymore.
Maybe
blah, blah, blah.
maybe first Doctor is
So,
when
did we
the
actually
Doctor
see
took
the
the name
Master?
as the Doctor. So who knows?
Did we actually see the Master escape this time?
We hear him say something to the Cybermen, saying, "You lot follow me through here."
Yeah, I heard him saying escape, something about
Yeah.
escaping.
So I reckon that crafty bugger, like he always did, has a disguised TARDIS on standby, like he does in every one of his stories.
Yeah, but there was
I
loads of
didn't hear
TARDIS
him
there.
say that.
I mean, we
You
found
lot
two of
come-
the TARDIS there.
Did you see
Tons of TARDISes.
that big massive Time Lord statue that stuck out like a sore thumb because it was the only one in that room?
Yeah,
If
that's
you
what I
watch it
thought.
back.
Yeah.
When did that sentence happen? I didn't hear it.
Right near the end. I'll send you a screenshot in the group chat.
Oh,
Okay.
cool. All right.
All
So,
But that-
anybody
no,
have
that
anything?
That means that the Cyber Time Lords probably live on. At least a couple
Okay.
of them.
Yeah, they
Okay.
could come back. They could be a
Depends how
big threat in
fast they
Series
could
12,
run.
for all we know.
Well,
Series 13,
you
rather.
can't kill them now they just regenerate.
Yeah, well,
Then
that's
kill
fine,
him.
but-
Then kill him during
Yeah,
regeneration.
But if you blow them up and they throw, they're scattered into parts, they're not going to regenerate.
And this does this does answer the question also that, you don't just leave a Time Lord body laying around, because what would that do? I can't remember which episode that's from, but anyway.
I loved it when he said he's going to
no,
roll
I
out the
know.
red
Well, that
carpet in
was
the
when-
blood of his people, in the blood of their
Yeah,
people.
that was
Yeah,
dark.
that was
in the
really dark.
astronaut, when they burned
That's
Yes,
not something a kid
quite
show
right,
would
quite
say.
right.
when
Yes,
they
quite right.
burned Matt's doctor in the boat so that none of him would survive.
Yeah, they burnt
Okay.
the master in the boat. Yeah.
All right, so are we ready to answer the ratings call on this
Yes.
bad boy? Okay, so I'm gonna switch the order up because now everybody's moved around. Let's start with Kevin, please.
What?
What's your final say and score?
Well, for what I think, for I saw it only the first time, I'm going to give it a 7.5.
7.5. Cool. And Alex, what's your final say and score?
Okay, I'll give it an 8, although I thought it was predictable, but that's okay. I'll give it an 8.
All right. And Alad, please, what's your final say and score?
Well, it's brought Doctor Who back into Doctor Who, and I thought Chibnall, this could have been a total disaster because he set a lot up, especially this season, and he could have really dropped the ball. But to be fair, he didn't. It was well-paced. It was exciting. It had danger. It had a great villain in Sacha Dhawan and the Lone Cyberman. It was absolutely thrilling. It's got to be a 10.
All right. Then Susie, what's your final say and score?
Hard. It's really hard to score this one. I loved the Cyber Time Wars. It was my favorite thing. But for me, it was just too much going on, too much bombarding you, too many unanswered things. So I'm torn between 8 or 9. So I can't decide. What should I say? Should I say an 8 or a 9?
It's your decision.
I'll say a 9. What the heck? Sorry, that's Edwin's score. Arf, arf, arf.
So that was 8. That was 8 barks for you.
Yeah,
All right.
So 9,
All right,
no, 9. 9 barks for me.
9 barks for you. Okay. And Jake or Sacha Dhawan, whoever is available at the moment.
I will give it a 9.5. I really enjoyed this. This was probably my favourite second part of a finale since Journey's End in Series 4.
Oh, dang. Oh, dang. All right. And Mikey?
Okay, I know most of you are gonna be expecting me doing the same thing. I'm gonna say this. I've been saying this for the whole entire time, but there's gonna be a plot twist. 14 out of 13.
Oh, wow. All right. Well,
That is a plot twist. Wow. Wasn't expecting that. Beat that, Chibnall.
Ha ha! Ha ha!
So our podcasts get more and more exciting as you watch, because you can't always predict what everybody's going to say, and because I can't fault it, except for the fact that it's just fan fiction for someone who needed to answer the Morbius question for 35, 40 years. I will give it a 13 out of 10, because that's what we fans do. We ruminate, and then if you get a fan in charge of a show, all their questions, all the things that they ever do are all towards answering their own fandom, and that is immense, and that is really cool. And I just wish that we could all eventually work for our favorite things and be part of our favorite things. So I guess in these podcasts, we are part of that. So thank you all for being part of the fandom with me. It's very fun, and we need our community, and these podcasts are great. And so come back in a week. And we'll talk.
Wait. Okay, because of what Susie just said, I changed my score. I'll give it a 10.
Oh, all right. Fine. That's great. 10
I'll give it a 10 as well.
All right. So, geez. Okay. So, let's just let me just say that can we please come back in a week and talk about the whole stinking thing, the whole stinking series all over again?
Can I ask you
Yeah,
one
we
question?
can do that.
All right, that sounds great.
Can I
Let's
ask you
do
one
that.
question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you think we'll ever see the dimension that the Doctor comes from?
I hope not.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's very
That's
weird.
a good question.
Yeah.
And
I hope
why?
it's not an alternative reality thing.
Why on earth?
Alternative reality thing drives me crazy.
Why on earth was she put through the vortex thing, the portal?
I don't know.
With that ugly Jess
She
sense,
probably
I
went
wouldn't
on
blame
a school field trip and went the wrong way.
She got lost.
And will this be Jodie's last?
They were watching Frozen 2 and she wandered
That's right,
off, fell through a portal there.
She should have turned left when she should have turned right. And
Well, so it's
That's a
it
great
going to be the
episode.
last
Turn
series or
left.
not?
Turn left is a great episode.
Yes,
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah.
Fantastic episode.
Yeah, I
But is
love
it
that.
going to be the last series 13, or
No.
No.
I mean, of Jodie's?
Don't blaspheme in here. It's never going to be the last.
No, yeah. The once you started a science fiction juggernaut, you're never going to be able to
I
stop
do have
that
a question,
train.
though. I've just remembered. So he was sending people through the portal. So those people have gone to that other dimension.
He said Gallifrey never looked like that before, so everyone's saying it at different places.
No, because I don't.
Depending on the person that looked at it.
And wouldn't you think that you would build up a whole city around something like in big blocks, you know, like
Well,
we
but it
do,
wasn't
and then
always there. It
instead
kept
of making
moving.
like a big citadel just out of nothing? I mean, that was a
Yeah, but I
strange
love that sequence.
evolution. I know.
It kept moving.
If it's
That's
always
why
in the same
Gallifrey-
place.
But that's why he said
Yeah.
Gallifrey never looked like that before.
But that's
Because
also, I mean,
He just
it's
said it's
also
never looked
different
like
from
that before. It
London.
didn't
London
mean-
built up on like, from
But he
like
didn't exactly
buildings.
mean. He might not have meant Gallifrey. Might not have seen Gallifrey before. He said it's never looked like that before. He could have meant the portal.
Oh,
the
that's
portal.
true. That's
Yeah.
true. Good.
That's what I thought. That's what I was
Because
interpreting.
it does change locations as he said in the episode. The portal moves around.
But
So-
the cool thing with that is that you know, I mean, you get London and growing up in it, and it starts with the wood structures that burn with the pterodactyls, and then you go to the brick structures that are all part of the Victorian times and the Edwardian times, and then you've got some skyscrapers starting, and then you've got beautiful buildings. So I mean, the Citadel, which is this absolutely gorgeous building, you wouldn't assume that it would, you know, build up.
Pit, yeah, not hole, yeah.
Yeah, that was really super strange, but it was very Game of Thrones opening credits, very
But
much.
it would be interesting if the Doctor was sent through the portal because there's a bigger threat in that dimension than the Daleks and the Cybermen. There's a bigger
Oh.
threat.
Holy
And
crap!
that would be awesome if something came through that portal.
Ah,
Like
Wow.
a bigger, more nastier villain.
All right.
dude.
I've got to run, guys. But it's
All
been
right.
fun.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
Susie.
Thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe. Share your comments, all your theories. There's going to be shitloads of theories, and just enjoy the series. And come back in a week and hear us discuss the whole series from beginning to end.
Yep.
This
Yeah.
is gonna be a wild one.
Hosted by me, your favourite Geeks Assembled member.
Okay, I'm not coming back.
I don't know if I'm coming back to discuss the whole series.
Gosh, oh my gosh.
We're all doomed. We're all doomed. We're all doomed now.
We're all
I
going
love
now.
it, Jay.
Yeah, enjoy the day, Susie.
Enjoy your day, Susie. I will. Okay. Actually, I need to put this out. I did promise a couple of weeks ago, I think a week or so, that I would rewatch Series 12. I don't know if I have time to do it, but
I
you know.
haven't got time, so I'm just going to make it up.
It doesn't matter. You don't have to.
You're still recording.
It's not. Yeah, no, but it's fine. Yeah, but you don't have to.
Well, it's a challenge. Everyone, I voted on my Instagram story, and you know what? I decided to challenge myself to rewatch.
Oh, you
all
can
the-
if you want. Yeah, but you don't have to for joining next week's cast.
Right.
Yeah.
And also, please join our Facebook group and our social media, because we are like everywhere.
We're
Literally,
everywhere.
we're in your
time and
bins.
space.
We're everywhere.
We are everywhere. So
That's a
thank you, and for Gallifrey and for the Cybermen and all of that.
With a shadow in the corner of the room.
Bye.
Bye.
With the
Cut,
one stalking you down
Bye.
that dark alley.
Cut,
Where are we
cut.
going now? Okay, wave goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Susan looks frightened. Ta.